Hello, everyone. Imagine this for a moment. You open your mouth and speak English smoothly. You feel calm. You feel confident. There is no hesitation, no translating in your head, no fear of making mistakes. Your thoughts come out naturally in simple and clear sentences. Now be honest. Right now, that may feel impossible. Maybe you are thinking, I can't do that. But what if the problem is not your English? What if the problem is the way you are training your brain? Most learners don't have a knowledge problem. They have a training problem. They spend hours memorizing words. They study grammar rules. But when it is time to speak, they stop because they're not speaking. They're translating. And in that moment, your mind says, what if I say it wrong? What if I forget the word? So you stay silent. And here is the hot truth. If nothing changes, next month, next year, you will still understand English, but you still won't speak. And while you are waiting, someone else is already speaking. That is the difference. Your brain is like a muscle. If you train it every day, it becomes faster, stronger, and more natural. But if you only study, your brain stores information. It does not learn how to use it. Not because English is too hard, but because your brain is not trained the right way. So, in this video, I will show you something simple but powerful. Not difficult words, not complex grammar, but real techniques that help you think, speak, and respond naturally. Techniques that real speakers use every day. If you have ever felt stuck, if you have ever wanted to speak but stayed silent, this will help you. Stay with me because this might be the moment your English finally starts to change. But the good news is, your brain can change. It can adapt. It can improve with the right kind of training. Before this, let's be honest. You have studied English for years. You understand a lot. But when it is your turn to speak, you stop. Not because you don't know, but because your brain is not ready. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you train a muscle every day, it becomes stronger. It moves faster. It works better. Your brain works in the same way. If you use English regularly, your brain becomes faster and more natural with the language. But here is the problem. Many learners don't train their brain. They only try to remember words. And memorizing words is not the same as using a language. When you memorize, you read a word, repeat it, and hope you remember it later. Speak even simple sentences. And this is where the change happens. Because when you actively use English, your brain is forced to work. It builds connections. It creates pathways. And slowly, English becomes easier to understand and easier to speak. Another important idea is this. English is not just words. It is patterns. And this is where many learners get confused. They try to remember every word. But when they speak, nothing comes out. Your brain does not remember language word by word. It learns patterns. I am going to work. I am going to the store. I am going to meet a friend. After hearing this many times, your brain understands the pattern. And one day, without thinking, you say, I am going to study English. You did not memorize that sentence. Your brain created it. This is how real learning works. This is also how children learn. They don't study grammar first. They listen. They repeat. They use at the beginning. They don't understand everything, and that is normal. The goal is not perfect understanding. The goal is familiarity. The more your brain hears English, the more natural it feels. Speaking is one of the most powerful ways to train your brain, because when you speak, your brain must think and respond at the same time. Even simple sentences matter. I am drinking coffee. I am studying English. I am walking outside. These are not small sentences. These are training tools. They teach your brain how to turn thoughts into language. And this is why many people feel stuck. They practice a lot one day and then stop for a week. But here's the truth many learners ignore. Consistency is more important than intensity. Some people study for hours and then stop for days. But your brain does not grow like that. Your brain needs repetition. Daily repetition. Even 5 or 10 minutes every day can change your brain over time. Now, let's make it practical. Connect English with your daily life. When you cook, think, I am cutting vegetables. I am boiling water. When you walk, think, the sky is blue. The weather is warm. These small moments are powerful, because now English is not something you study. It becomes something you live. And you need patience, because this is not fast. It is not instant. In the beginning, you will feel slow. You will make mistakes. You will hesitate. But that is not failure. That is training. Every time you try, your brain becomes stronger. Over time, something changes. You pause less. You think faster. You speak more naturally. And confidence grows. Not because you are perfect, but because you are used to using English. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest problems: translation. Many learners think in their native language and then translate into English. This feels normal, but it is a trap, because now your brain must do two jobs: think and translate, and that makes you slow. In real conversations, there is no time to translate. People speak fast. They respond quickly, and when you try to translate music, stop. You hesitate. You feel nervous. Sometimes you even forget what you wanted to say. Another problem is structure. Your language and English are different. So when you translate, your sentences sound unnatural, even if people understand you. Music, you don't feel confident. So what is the solution? You train your brain to think directly in English. You can listen to podcasts while walking, traveling, or relaxing. You don't need to understand every word. Just keep listening. Over time, your brain becomes familiar with the sounds, rhythm, and structure of English. Watching videos also helps a lot. When you watch, you see actions and hear words at the same time. This makes understanding easier and more natural. YouTube, movies, and TV shows are great tools. They show real conversations, real emotions, and real situations. Music is another simple way to learn. Songs are easy to remember because of rhythm and repetition. You may find yourself repeating lines without thinking, and this helps your pronunciation and memory. Reading is also important. When you read simple text, your brain learns how sentences are built. You see how ideas are connected. This makes speaking easier because your brain already knows the structure. You don't need difficult materials. Simple content is better in the beginning. Short articles, simple stories, or daily topics are enough. The goal is to understand and feel comfortable. You can also label objects in your home. Put small notes on things like the door, table, or mirror. Every time you see them, you read the word. This helps your brain connect English directly with real objects. The good news is you don't need a lot of time. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day is enough if you are consistent. Small daily practice is much better than long sessions once in a while. Over time, your brain changes. Words come faster. Sentences feel easier. You respond more naturally. And the best part is learning no longer feels stressful. It becomes part of your daily life. By listening, watching, reading, and surrounding yourself with English every day, your brain slowly builds a natural connection with the language. Even a few minutes each day can make a real difference. You may not see big results immediately, but something is changing inside your mind. Your understanding becomes clearer. Your confidence becomes stronger. And step by step, speaking English starts to feel more natural. Many people think learning English is difficult because they try to learn too much at once. Grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, everything at the same time. And in the end, they feel tired and confused. But the truth is much simpler. Your brain learns best when English becomes part of your daily life, not just something you study for a short time. This is what we call immersion. It means living with the language, not just learning it. You don't need to move to another country to do this. Today, you already have everything you need: your phone, the internet, videos, music, and simple daily habits.